We're gonna beat down Elite Dreadbloon so quickly today, it'll be like you hardly even knew him. This week is gonna be the week we quote-unquote insta-kill Elite Dreadbloon. Much to my disappointment, this recent week's boss was pretty standard cookie-cutter stuff. Just the cabin, and no modifiers on Dreadbloon at all, other than a Spike Factory ban. Feels like it's been a pretty long stretch of fairly standard bosses. Anyway, the leaderboard for this week is of course timed, otherwise we wouldn't be doing an insta-kill. The top times only take 2 minutes to beat all 5 tiers, so can we pull that off? Well, stay tuned, and you will find out. I will also mention at this point that, unlike a lot of the usual videos I do, this one's going to be a mix of voiceover commentary as well as live commentary. Reason being, frankly, it's really annoying, mostly in the early game, to optimize the farming, because if I want to aim for a good score as in like top 10/20, then I gotta put my tryhard pants on, and that involves redoing the round so many times that basically if I was commentating these early rounds live, it would basically be me speaking for 10 seconds, stopping for 15 minutes, and then continuing until I make it to round 40. Plus, a bonus of doing voiceover is you can actually now see the first 30 rounds, which I normally skip a lot of, but basically with Geraldo NFT, sell Geraldo to rush a farm on round 9, and this round took very many attempts in order to not get a time penalty, but we were able to get away with the farm on round 9 and drop a sub in the middle of the round to avoid time penalty. Didn't record the winning attempt of that run, but just know it took many retries. And just for the uninitiated, a time penalty is when you take too long to beat a round. It's basically X seconds after the last boon spawns in. So here's just a funny compilation of me failing to not get a time penalty in round 16 many times. But eventually it was done, and we now have to add a boomerang as the rounds are increasingly getting harder. We get 2 200 farms and turn one of them into a bank on round 23. Boomerang is now upgraded to 100 for extra pierce. Fast forward all the way to round 30, where, yes, now we get rid of the NFT and pick off where we normally leave off, which is get an IMF loan and start depositing. But because I have excess cash, I'm also going to drop a lead to gold here. Dreadbloon has custom rounds where he will spawn a lot more lead balloons than normally. So even on round 31, which normally doesn't have it, has a good amount of leads that I think the let's gold is pretty profitable. So that's nice. In order to maximize your money gains, you want to try to time the ability, IMF loan ability, at the same time that the bank is full, aka 12.5k. We tank all of round 33, because we can. And we did just that at the end of 33, a full 12.5k as well as a free 10k with the IMF loan. So much so that we can now add those triple discounts, get a balloon trap, start the round, take out the 10k, and then get the Monkeyopolis. And after waiting a little bit more time and then selling the other village, we can now get a Rubber Gold 2 Balloon Trap combo. Huge stonks. From here, we play out the rest of the 30s pretty carefully, add a Glue Gunner so that the Rubber Gold 2 can rubber more balloons, and then get several marketplaces around the Monkeyopolis. This was how much I was able to greed by round 39. 3 marketplaces and a flavor trades. We're not going to roll into round 40 just like this though, because I already have a plan for tier 1. To beat it very fast, so check this out. Middle of the round, sell the marketplaces to get some upgrades. Sell the Monkeyopolis too. And then we're gonna get 2 first strikes, fan club, and a glue strike. This so that we have 2 categories of damage we can work with for tier 1. Want to make sure all those abilities are pre-charged for round 40, good enough. I didn't time it, but if I had to guess, the first 40 rounds probably took well over an hour just to optimize. Milking the most out of the early rounds is like excruciatingly precise. So it's definitely not something I'll do every boss week, but guess I can spare a little bit of time for this one. And now I'll pick up on live commentary for tier 1. If you couldn't tell from the Super Monkey fan club, yes, we're going to buy the Plaza fan club to beat down tier 1. This is not something I've tried before, but I hear it's a pretty good option for tier 1 because it's basically like a burst damage option. The ability has low uptime, but the ability to transform 20 darts into Super Monkeys is a lot of DPS. So I was able to fit 15 Dart Monkeys under the primary expertise or primary mentoring, 5 that won't be discounted. And I really want to upgrade all these to 021 because if you didn't know, the attack speed that these guys get are inherited in the transform monkeys. So it would do more damage, but the money is so tight that I can't afford that if I want to afford Plaza Fan Club. Because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these 2 first strikes, sell both of them, and then use Glue Strike for +3 damage, sell that, sell everything to barely afford Fan Club, and then when I sell Fan Club, I'm gonna get a Super Brutal. Do you follow my instructions? This will make it so that Dreadbloon takes 8 extra damage from every single plasma bolt. Let that sink in. Anyway, let me play now and let me show you how to pull this off. Let's go. Spam 2. Use Glue Strike. Sell all 3. Again, money's tight. So this. Sell. Boom, 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 boom. And we have extra money, so let's get that. And let's buy, let's just wait. 16-second kill. And I think that was a total tier 1 time of 19 point something seconds. Not bad. Considering this is elite and 50k effective HP to work with, I mean, it's about as good as of an insta-kill as you can get with about $60,000 worth of towers. I also got one Dart Monkey that I shouldn't have gotten. That's minus $50. And now after selling everything, we've got about 34k to work with to continue our farming. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build back a mini Monkeyopolis and the Balloon Trap on the road to gold, but not go for the Banana Central. Because there's a lot of water in this map and pretty good real estate, we're going to switch to Trade Empire farming, which I like because it's a lot of hands-off farming. You just drop the boats down, wait for the round end, and boom, profit. Normally, I like to get the Trade Empire right after tier 1, aka this round, but because we spent so much money on being tier 1, it's just simply not profitable to do that. Instead, we gotta wait. I would say after maybe a dozen merchant run or so, we can try the 23k save up for it. So that'll put us at about like around 45 Trade Empire. Yep, this is 13 boats right here. We'll try to aim for the end of round 45. So is there any way we can make $13,000 this round? If I have to sell the Balloon Trap or the Road Gold to afford it back, then I'll do so. Because, of course, it makes more sense to get the Trade Empire before the round ends rather than wait for the start of 46. Then we basically lose on the whole round. Money's there, though. That's good. Calculated perfectly first try. Beautiful. Now we build a new discount on the right side. F-mob this round, which we didn't get the road gold money from. That's fine. Anyway, nobody asked about this, but I figured I would let you know about how I'm doing in regards to something I brought up in a video like about 9 months ago, I would say. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I don't want to give a whole rehash of the situation, which I didn't really say too much about in the first place. All I said roughly is that there is a lot of shit going on IRL that is really affecting me. I haven't really brought up since that time 9 months ago, so I figured I'd just let you know in terms of an update. Things are still about the same. I'm still dealing with said situation, and said situation probably won't resolve itself for a long time. So if everything seems okay on the surface, then I'm just letting you know that's not the case. That's all I want to say. Anyway, the correct build order after 20 merchantmen is 10 Central Market. Sadly, I was 3k off of getting the 10% bonus this round, but we should scale Snowball pretty quickly from this point on. Did you also know in the cabin you can place farms in the woods? Awesome spot for a secret Central Market. How much money are we making in around now? Looks like about $13,000 or so. 5 more to go. It would be very nice if we could get 10 Central Markets and all of these to flavor trades by tier 2, or before then rather. And there's 10 on round 55. Let's see if I can upgrade all 20 of these in the next 5 rounds or so. What I do to try to squeeze rounds out is reposition the trap right before the round ends to collect the trap money from it. Because sometimes the difference is enough to get us to an extra flavor trades upgrade, which can, again, snowball further. But enough end around cash now to buy 4 extra flavor trades. Very nice. Alright, mission successful. We did it at the end of 57, or rather now. We'll just hold on to the money now, because nothing's going to profit in 2 rounds. Although, well, frankly, I think with flavor trades, this is a 95% sell value, so I think technically Wall Street makes the money back. Whatever the case, I'm not going to try, though, because just like tier 1, I need to cool off some abilities for tier 2. So here's what I'm thinking here. My god, $89,000 in a round. That was 50k made last round for those who weren't keeping track. What if I told you that I bet 50k isn't even that great compared to what the best bossers / farmers can pull off? Not gonna say where, but I definitely found several spots in this run where I could have, like, squeezed out a lot of money. But if I had to optimize every little thing until it was perfect, then I'd probably be in my gravestone by then. Anyway, surprise, surprise, we are going to go for first strikes again for tier 2. I think 5 of them with a Reju Potion, which I'm gonna spend Geraldo levels on, will be enough to get through the primary phase. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do for the non-primary phase later. But what's nice about 5 First Strikes is that I don't need to sell any of my farms here, right? Nope, I can keep all end of round cash for 10 central markets. I had to get Lord of the Abyss because I didn't want to sell like 5 of my boats. That's a lot of money I missed out on. So all 5, oh, this one's not cooled off. Okay, that's fine. I'll basically have 9 First Strikes to work with. Let's spend 10k, ouch, on level 11 Geraldo. And now what I gotta do is I gotta sell enough farms off to be able to get a Paragon. That's what I'm gonna go for this tier. It'll be the Dark Paragon, aka the cheapest Paragon. We have so much money that we can indeed afford it. Now, in an effort to save money, I'm also not going to get the second Crossmaster. Instead, I'm just gonna satisfy the 100 upgrade requirement to get degree 20, because that's a lot cheaper than buying another Crossmaster. All the money, by the way, when you sell the Paragon goes into the void. You don't get the money back when you sell it. Like, if you put $1 million in the cash slider, and then you sell the Paragon, you're not gonna get $1 million back. Just the, you know, upgrade cost of the Paragon added to the Paragon or tower you upgraded to, which is why we gotta do Planets Fan Club. Now, how many flavors do I gotta sell to get the Paragon here? We gotta sell 5 of our boats. We'll try to get those back in the middle of the round. But this will be a very fast tier 2. Let's make sure this is 20 first. Yep, I think we overshot it with 22, but that's fine. Just like SpongeBob, I'm ready. This should only take 1 attempt here. Let go. Get ready to spam. Come on. Rejuve. And let's go. Dark Paragon for the last 3 kills, and just like that. How many seconds was that? Either way, new best score of 27.85. What I didn't tell you yet is I retried tier 1 and got 16 seconds, so this tier took about 11. For reference, and we can sell this now. Come on. There we go. We got our 20 boats back. I didn't have time to drop 10 central markets though, so we lost a little bit of money from round 60 ending there, but that's fine. So all this, we got $240,000. That's enough to afford a support Sun Temple and 6 central markets. 25k sacrifices, just for the 20% discount. Puts us a little bit behind on this round, but we'll make that back in no time. Yep, back to max after just 2 rounds here. Now let's get that cheap banana central. And now that we got our beast set, let's get our big trap. This will not only help us make more money, but I'm also going to use it for a higher Paragon degree. Because yes, we're going to use that for tier 3. Depending on the map, sometimes it's better to spam towers rather than going for Paragons, because usually if you get max buffs on a tower, it can outperform Paragons, but I think Cabin loses a lot of extra space thanks to all the trees in the way, and I find Paragons a lot more fun to do. Simply put, it's just easier time-wise and effort-wise to buy 1 Paragon versus dropping 100 towers. So I personally like it when bosses are on maps with low space. Much less time spent on tedious stuff, and more time spent on skill. Because of cabin farming space, we only have to overclock or keep overclock on 3 BRFs at a time. After this, we are pretty much max captain farming from here. The most I can do extra is I found 1 spot for a heli pilot, so I guess I'll get that to Marine. And then I'm gonna Chinook Geraldo over here to where the Energizer is gonna be, so he gets some extra XP. An earlier level 20 Geraldo means I can get more Paragon Totems, which will be helpful, obviously. I can also drop the NFT down, again, but that's pretty much it. Psych, I can actually get a Monkeyopolis. This is only 5 farms sucked up. I could have done 8 if I didn't put 2 5s here, but that's whatever. Just like she said, it's big enough. Difference between 5 and 8 won't mean too much, I don't think. Right, I can also do this. This is a net profit of $8,000 at least. Reju Potion on the Monkeynomics, so that's nothing like a casual $1 million in change in around 79. So for this NG Paragon, we're not going to put anything in the cash slider because we're going to make it a makeshift, meaning I'm going to sell it after this tier ends. I figured making the push to degree 40 is probably a little bit too much, like this early on. It would require over $500,000 in cash slider. Instead, we're going to use our cash slider on the Dart Paragon. So I'm going to start prepping for that. This is going to be a permanent Paragon. The goal for Dart is going to be 60. We got to prep for Energy Paragon 1 brand in advance because it takes time to get all 3 sentries down. First off, let's see if I gotta sell anything, or is just max cash slider enough for 60? Ain't no way. Well, I guess we're close. Sell one? Surely, 20 extra $1,000 is enough. And indeed, it is. Awesome. I don't think this kill will be as fast as tier 2, but it could be close to on par with tier 1. Let's see. First part's definitely going to be the slowest because the Dark Paragon will do most of the work. Let's go. And the moment we can do damage, spawn this entry. And okay, it's missing a little bit of the Rock Skull there, but let's resell it. And you see, when I sell, I get a huge chunk off. And I think I'll take that. It's a little bit slower than tier 1, I think, right? 47, okay. So that tier took 20 seconds. Am I satisfied at 20 seconds? Well, given the effort to time ratio, probably. I would probably need to spend, like, I don't know, a lot more to shave off an extra second off is what I'm saying. Anyway, like I said, let's get rid of the engineer. I'm actually not going to get back this farm over here because the issue with keeping Dark Paragon is that it's obviously going to attack if balloons get close to the Dark Paragon Hall. So what I gotta try to do with the big trap is suck up things before it even gets in range of the Dark Paragon. So to accomplish that, I think I'm gonna get an absolute 0 and a relentless glue. This will be some mad stalling potential. I think my plan is on tier 4 we're gonna get the permanent engineer, so that's why we want all the money to go into the big trap as well as the pops. Now let's get level 20 Geraldo so we get Paragon totems. Just in case anybody would have asked this question, why not use Paragon totems for the Dark Paragon? It's the only Paragon, or one of the 2 Paragons, that it's not efficient to use this in. Like, $26,000 for the amount of power you get is more expensive than cash slidering the cheapest Paragon in the game. But for anything above the Boomerang Paragon price, it's worth it. Just thought I'd clear that up in case anybody was confused. Anyway, again, I think there's nothing else we can really do at this point, but wait until round, I would say 98 should give us enough time to get all 3 NGs down, or even earlier than that, honestly. In addition to NG and Dart, we're gonna pull out a 3rd Paragon for tier 4. That 3rd Paragon is actually going to be my 2nd Paragon. We need to get Wizard before Engineer because its ability takes longer to cool off than Engineer. But Magus is good because its Metamorphosis is an insane burst ability, even better than the Sentry Explosions. I did perfect math, and I think 840k actually gets me a little bit overboard, so I was not perfect. But I'll take 61. Now, that was a lot of money I just blew on the Wizard, so hopefully I can still get... I think I want a degree 40 Engineer. We have to get that, I believe, by round 98 in order to get all the abilities up. Try to stall the rounds out as well, using the beam on the Wizard, but I have to kind of micro this constantly, because it keeps on turning on every time it goes back to max CC. What's crazy is the money is actually there for the Paragon without selling anything, but I think I need to sell something, because right now we are only at degree 37. But that's not bad, we only have to sell a couple more things. Well, the non-fungible token is probably the easiest thing I can sell off, so I think I did the math. 135k gets 40. Beauty. Now that I couldn't have mathed out any better. These 3 Paragons we're all gonna keep for tier 4 and tier 5. I should also mention that, remember, Paragon cap of 4 in most bosses by default. So I'm only allowed to get 1 more. And that can't be the Spike Paragon, otherwise that would have been the most obvious choice. Okay, bad news. 98 was apparently too late. I only have 2 of the sentries dropped. Almost the 3rd one, but that's a full cycle that I am behind, sadly. I'm gonna blame that on the fact that I couldn't stall the rounds because the Phoenix kept attacking. Unlucky. But whatever. I'm also gonna try to farm pops for the Ace Paragon. That is going to be the 4th Paragon, unsurprisingly. So let's go. Drop the 3rd sentry. Activate this immediately. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. When should I sell these guys? This now? I should sell all of the NG sentries for the magic phase because it's the slowest by far. And there it is. That was well under 30 seconds. Let's see. 1:10:23. Okay. 23-second tier 4, so just a tad bit longer than tier 3. But given it had like 3 times the HP, I'm gonna gladly take that. Now I realize the Wizard being able to attack the entrance is still gonna rear its ugly head. Because right now, I want to get every single pop on the Ace Paragon, but that's not gonna happen because the wizard keeps attacking. Like, it's literally spawn camping the balloons. I'm not sure what I can do about that. I'm gonna try to get a super glue up here, but I don't know. I'll try my best. Maybe I'll just explode the Phoenix. Zombies will probably do a little bit of damage, but that's inevitable. Damn, 200,000 pops right there. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to painfully work my way around this issue. I guess going through each round very, very, very carefully. In addition to the 4 Paragons, I honestly think you can consider Megalodon another Paragon at this point. We're gonna Ultra Boost that for some extra damage. And yeah, I'll see you on round 119. Alright, here we are. It's a shame we can't go for Bow Paragon, because I bet this would have been a beefy degree. Because isn't it crazy that I was able to keep all the boat farms for every tier of defense, saving a lot of time in the process? Dudes will look at this and say, hell yeah. Now we sell all the farms on the map to fit our 17 complementary aces for a higher ace Paragon degree. I gotta say, Cabin is a nightmare of a map to fit aces on. But eventually I done diddly did it. 17 exactly. I think I just plan to wing monkey this ace, so it's no problem just putting it down here. Now, I already tested, and with $0, you're already at degree 60. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend as much money as I think I'll have left over. Like for regular towers. I don't think I'm gonna need any more than like $500,000, so I'll take off like 400k from this, 300k. We'll do a 699k cash sack, and that's going to be degree 70. Overshot it by 1, but that's fine. God damn it, this is so unnecessarily sweaty, but we're in too deep at this point. We gotta commit. Yeah, so it was also an intentional choice to put, like, towers that get blocked by line of sight as support towers in the bottom left corner there. Let's also make sure we have a full mana bar going into the last round here. 99.5, good enough. Here we fridge and go. We'll finally solve the boat farms, and we will have about 200k left over now. Personally, I think that much is good for a couple more Sun Avatars, and for ones that are further away, I think snipers are most efficient. 204 spam on strong. I think I'm ready now. Let's knock this out in 1 attempt max, okay? There's a lot of abilities to deal with, so I think I'm going to focus on using Paragon abilities first, and then the normal towers come later. So Wizard Ace takes priority, and then drop NG Sentries wherever possible. I placed it right under the tack zone for reference. If we finish this sub 2, I will be very satisfied. Let's also wait, because Wing Monkey's so stupid, for the Ace to be in the top left corner before hitting play in the round, so come on. Now. Okay. This now. Sorry, I gotta pause because, like, I gotta think. Do I want to use the Ace ability now, actually? Or do I want to save it for the magic layer? There's a chance I might get 2 off, so I would say use it now, okay? Go back in. This now? Oh, I can't even click it, bruh. 1, 2, 3. Where's the Tensor explosion? There. Primary layer is finally beaten down. It's a bit slower than I expected, yes. I'm talking 10 seconds per skull is slow. This military phase is damn slow. But we're gonna get there. And I expect magic to be slow because the wizards now are not going to do any carry work. Now, remember, I should explode every sentry because the support layer is going to be fully immune by this point. So wait for the skull or the rock layer to go through, and then sell this guy for a chunk. That was a bit early, but whatever. I don't care. We have Rejuve again, by the way. Do all this. And yep, we're going to get a second Ace ability off, so that's good. Good timing. Or good thing I used it first. Now, we're not going to get Metamorphosis, so I decided to use the Phoenix Explosion there. And I don't think we're going to make it a sub 2, unfortunately. But still, pretty damn fast considering this is not a reduced HP boss. This is a fully powered unnerfed Dreadbloon, mind you. 2 minutes flat. If we don't count the kill time, that would have been pretty damn solid. Still, I would say pretty solid. I think it took exactly 1 minute for the final tier 5. So not too shabby. Oh, you know what I could have done in hindsight? Since I sold the engineer, I probably could have gotten a bow Paragon for the very ending, but that's whatever. 207 puts us cleanly top 5. Everybody loves a good pop count check, so just in case you're curious, this counts the 2 tiers that it was there for. 11 for the 1 tier here. And yeah, hope you had fun watching this one. If you did, and you want to see more bossing, then I got a big old playlist over here that you can go ahead and watch a lot of my boss videos on. Otherwise, I'll catch you later.